Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind Season 8, Episode 6. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. It is day 192 on the pods, and we have Mason, who is still trying to convince Meg that she has always been his number one.
You were my first date in the pods, and I put a 10 down. You've always been my number one.
You were like number one for me this whole experience. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a connection or feelings for two people. It wasn't a question for me. And I didn't feel affirmed by you. Every time I heard your voice, I got excited. So I was like, okay, like maybe at some point it'll just hit him.
I really fucking regret saying what I said. I don't know why I fucking said it. I feel a lot of regret. I should never have validated Madison over Meg.
We don't get the opportunity for one of us, for like you to pick.
I really thought Meg was gonna fold. I'm surprised that she didn't. And good on you, girl, honestly. I'm conflicted with this whole situation because I genuinely think that Mason and Meg would have been compatible in the real world. I do. It's unfortunate, like Meg said, that they don't have the luxury of him choosing. You're claiming that I was always your number one. The opportunity for you to prove that has now been taken. So it is hard to believe if what you're saying now is genuine or if you're now trying to grasp at straws because your actual number one did not pick you. So yeah, I mean, Mason, it sucks, but next time don't let somebody else take your decisions away from you. Stand your ground. Stand your ground on something. If she was your number one, you should have made it clear. You should have made it clear. And if she really was your number one, then Madison clocked your tea. Because you wanted to keep two connections going and now you've potentially lost them both. Well, now you've actually lost them both. So she clocked you. If she really was your number one, then you messed up. You should have made it clear that she was your number one and now you've got no one. Ooh. Sucks to suck. So it's time for Lauren and David's reveal. And it was...
How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
So good.
Do I look like you thought?
Kind of.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm nervous and hot.
Same.
Oh my
You want to rip
God.
off your clothes and show me your tats?
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. We get to like go home and like.
I know.
I got the impression he was trying to be like, I've only dated like hot people.
Lauren was concerned if David was going to be attracted to her because he has made it clear that he used to date a certain type in the past, and he obviously works in a field where aesthetics are a really big deal, and so aesthetics to him are a really big deal. I think that's definitely going to show up again some way, somehow. Absolutely. I'm not even quite sure what his type is for real, but Miss Girl, the other girl, I always want to call her Wendy. What's her name? Molly was somebody that I feel he was more intrigued by because of the image that he built of her. With Lauren, it was like, oh, she's the teacher, she's the sweet girl, she's the girl that you're kind of supposed to marry. Whereas Molly was a little bit more exciting. She had more of like a wild side. I do think that he had more intrigue with her. And so maybe physically she matches what he's looking for as well. We don't know that to be true. But yeah, Lauren, girl, be careful. The man has called you old and unattractive how many times? The man has made it clear that looks are very important to him how many times? The man has made it clear that he only gets really excited when you start to show that wild side. So, oof, best of luck to you, mama. Alex and Madison talk about non-negotiables in relationships. And honestly, at this point, Alex, I'm done.
But I feel like you and I are aligned on a lot of things.
We're really similar with a lot. The biggest concern on my end at this point, the avoidance.
I'm still here, aren't I? Like, you weren't nervous that you'd walk into this pod and I wouldn't be here.
3% chance in my brain.
No. You just gotta trust.
Well, Mason, honestly, he was really devastated.
Like, obviously I liked him, but like, I saw his true colors at the end.
Be nice.
He was not very nice to me.
What did Mason say in here? Did you ever tell him that you were also committed to him?
No.
So he committed to you and then he realized that wasn't an option. I think I'm just a very understanding person. I understand that perspective. Two me's in the pods, right? And you were like very conflicted still today. And
But I wasn't.
I knew he was dating other people. I was not bothered by that at all.
I guess I wasn't there, so I don't know what really happened. I just know what he told me.
This is me taking Alex off my bosom. Ugh! First the TikTok, now this, like, please. Oh my goodness. So he's like, you know, I'm really afraid of the avoidance. It's, oh my gosh. And it's so funny because she's there like, I'm literally here with you right now. I have been very open. I've been very transparent. What's the problem? And truly, what's the problem? This reminds me of how in recent years, therapy speak has been sensationalized. And it's great that people are getting therapy, or at least they're more curious about therapy. I studied psychology, so I'm a proponent for mental health. But he keeps saying, oh, you know, this attachment thing, the avoiding, whatever, to the point where he is becoming what he is afraid of. He is becoming exactly what he is afraid of. Oh my gosh, at some point, you're just going to have to lead with faith. Like, she keeps saying things that to me are a reiteration of what has already been established in this relationship and what you have already accepted. So to keep saying, oh, but that scares me though. The things that she's already told you about, like, please, no, cut it off. They start to talk about Mason's breakup, and she says that he wasn't very nice to her. Personally, I don't recall. I don't recall it going down that way. So I'm just like, okay, side eye. Then Alex starts internalizing like everything that they're talking about. And I'm thinking, wouldn't you be happy at the fact that another man expressed the want to commit to your number one, and she still said no and chose you? To me, that would be reassuring. Then they're still talking about the Mason thing, and she said she doesn't want to get into it, but he kept going. And so naturally she started to shut down and things get awkward between them. And at the surface, I did want to look at Madison and be like, oh girl, what the hell is this? However, she has expressed before, when I'm in conflict, I tend to dissociate. I tend to shut down. I don't like feeling big feelings. That's just not for me. She has already said that. And seemingly because he is still here, he's okay with it to some degree, right? She also said, I don't want to speak about this situation anymore. And he kept speaking about it. I will say, although I do understand why she was acting the way that she was acting, Alex was just saying that he also understands why Mason acted the way he acted, and he was put in a precarious situation. And if she truly believes that Mason was being mean to her, I can understand why she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. So I mean, I don't think he was being mean, so that part is confusing to begin with. But regardless, she expressed a need and he wasn't receptive to what she was asking for. So I understand why she started shutting down. I can't be mad at her. She has put everything on the table. He wiped it off the table and is now shocked that she's acting the way that she's acting. No, she let you know. I don't want to talk about it. You kept talking about it. Okay, when I'm upset, I shut down. Now I'm shutting down. No surprises. It was funny how at the top of the conversation, he said he kind of likes the drama that has come with this whole experience. And I'm thinking, if you were to stick with Madison, baby, that is just the beginning. There is more to come. And I guess as the conversation went on, he did realize, you know what? This is too much for me. I need to check out. And so ultimately he ends up breaking up with her. Remember when Madison said that Mason just wanted to keep 2 connections going and ultimately he was going to end up with none? I'm going
to go home. Just don't feel like at peace about it. Time for me to go.
Devon and Virginia have a date where he wrote down all these strong feelings that he had for her and wada. He says that he has opened up so much to her. He said things that he's never said to anybody else. And so he ends up proposing and she says yes. I hope that now that she has the assurance of being engaged to Devon, she can open up. And if she doesn't open up, I think it's time for her to take stock in one of 2 things. Either number 1, she has a lot of wounds that clearly she's not ready to address yet, and maybe just needs to take a beat before jumping into a relationship, let alone a marriage. Or number 2, there is something about Devon that she does not trust. And clearly being hung up on it so much that you cannot open up to him is a big problem. If the problem is Devon, you need to let Devon know. Like, the writing is on the wall. She cannot open up for one reason or another. You have to explore that before getting married, because it's just going to end in disaster if you can't address it. Honestly. And could you address it in the marriage? You could. You absolutely could. But I think it's better to do it before. So anyways, at the reveal, yeah, look, it was all right. It was all right.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. My hands are shaking. It's so nice to meet you in person.
You too. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the smile.
Thank you.
You smell good.
Thank you.
All around stunning.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like this.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you for all the deep conversations we had. I just feel very secure with you.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of thank yous. My God, you look so nice. Thank you. And thank you for loving me. And thank you for taking this time with me. And thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I damn near started playing a drinking game. Because enough with the thank yous. Enough. So I was noticing the fact that they didn't kiss when they met up. They didn't kiss when he proposed again. They didn't kiss on the bench. They had one last kiss when they were doing the final, like, can you walk me back to my little pod thing and then you go your way. And I was like, She then tells the cameras that she feels very at ease and she is happy with her decision. She feels a sense of peace. And I do believe that she's more at peace at the end of their interaction, because at the beginning, she was shaking like a leaf. Like, the girl was trembling. And I was like, damn, there's a lot going on with this couple. And then a piece of me was just like, ooh, because you know how typically the guy will walk the girl back to her little section and then they'll do this prolonged watching him walk back there and then they stare at each other and what? None of that. None of that. As soon as Devon walked her back to her little pod, she went right around the corner and back into the women's quarters. I said, oh, what is going on? What is going on? I want so badly to believe in any of Devon's connections, honestly. But, I have something to say. I just don't know if I can say it, because sometimes y'all be coming for my neck because you choose not to understand what I'm trying to say. I was going to say I support any of Devon's connections. And one of those would have been if he wanted to spin the block with Brittany, right? Unfortunately for me, I saw that Brittany did an interview and she said that Devon was immature for the way that he handled the conversation that they had. And she felt like his ego was bruised, and the male ego tends to be bruised. And that she got the hint that he was a mama's boy anyways, and she doesn't want to deal with that. So the issue that I have with that is I personally don't feel like he handled it immaturely. Oh, she also said he was self-centered because he always had to process things that she would say. Okay. I personally don't believe the way that he handled it was immature. I think it was quite mature, actually. He was giving her questions, and it didn't seem like the questions were ignorant type questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't say things that you've heard people say before. Like, I've explored with women. Oh, you trying to have threesomes or something? Like, he didn't say anything ignorant like that. So I was like, okay, that's quite mature to me. I don't know what she's talking about. I also don't think it's an issue for you to present information to somebody and for them to want to take time to process if they're okay with that information. I don't think that's a problem. So she also, she said a whole lot of things in that interview too. She also said she had concerns that if they were to have a kid who was also, or who was queer, or who was also curious about their sexuality, that he would not handle that well. And to me, now I want please use your brain, have nuance in this conversation, please, because sometimes y'all be trying to reach for things that I did not say or mean. To me, it felt as if she was insinuating that he was homophobic. And I did not appreciate that. I personally didn't. Could he be based off of other things? Sure. In this conversation, the way that we saw it, I was like, nah, I'm sorry. Brittany was whack for that. I personally feel like she was whack for that. You can say I didn't appreciate that he judged me, judged my past, or judged my current experience. Understood. I was hurt at the fact that I was rejected from somebody that I loved, or I could see myself loving. Understood. Immature, insinuating homophobia. Like, just, no, I'm sorry. Didn't like that. Also, come to find out, she actually did get engaged to Mo. And Mo said a lot of problematic things. Apparently Mo, I'll put a picture of Mo because who the hell is Mo? Apparently Mo had said some to her, and apparently some problematic things in the pods as well. So yeah, it was just a rough go for Brittany in general. But I personally, you do not have to agree. I personally did not appreciate what has been said about Devon after the fact unless she has more evidence. If she comes and she tells us that there's more context to that conversation or there were things that were said after the fact, then cool. Maybe in the next batch, we will see Devon's true character. But yeah, as of right now, I don't know. Anyways, I'm done my rant. The last reveal of the day is Taylor and Daniel's reveal. They definitely got more comfortable after they got out of their heads with this whole, am I going to be taller than him? Is she going to be taller than me?
The dating world today is just very shallow, and height has been one of the biggest factors. She could be 6 feet for all I know. Why is it such a big deal that the guy needs to be taller anyways?
Hello.
Hello.
Should we shake hands?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You're beautiful. Is this what you pictured?
Yes. No. Actually, yes.
Oh my God.
What are you most excited about?
Yeah, I like your smile.
Thank you.
I am ready to get married in 4 weeks. I'm ready to get married to her tomorrow.
I'll see you soon.
I think the reveal in general went okay. I think that there wasn't like too much awkwardness. They were kissing and she was like, he is my type. He does look good. He's not the height that I typically would go for, but she also was wearing heels, right? So it's not a matter of her towering over him or anything. I think it was decent. Where things started to turn for me was when she sat down in her little reveal pod and she just looked very, very unsettled. We find out that she believes who's this man? Daniel had already been following her and he basically had the cheat code on their entire connection.
He's so familiar to me, but I couldn't place it. When the doors opened last night, that was not the first time that he saw me. You had followed me on Instagram not long before coming here. Do you have a picture on your Instagram in front of a Christmas tree?
No.
That picture, you don't.
In front of a fire. The first Christmas picture I took was me in front of a fireplace.
We also had mutual people, if I remember right, when I looked at your profile. You may have put the pieces together when we were in the pod. I hope that you can see how that in my brain is like freaking me out.
Of course.
How diabolical is it for Daniel to have said, oh no, if I had followed you, I would have known because I have really good memory and I would see your picture in my head and I would remember that handle and I know for a fact I didn't follow you. Just for her to be like, no, but we have mutuals and it was a follow and an unfollow. And I even remember what you posted on your page. And he was like, well, the picture wasn't exactly like that. I honestly think it's more plausible for him to say, it's possible that I could have followed you in the past considering we're in the same city, small town, whatever, we have mutuals. But I just don't remember. Like it's possible. But for him to adamantly be like, no, didn't follow you. Shady. I would believe that maybe he had followed her in the past. It's happened to me. I had once been in a situation where a guy had told me point blank we had never met before. And I had sworn that I had seen his Instagram. I swore up and down that I had seen it before. At the time that I saw it, he wasn't in a relationship, right? But this time he was talking to me on a dating app. And he was like, oh, I want to meet up, whatever. And I was like, can I have your Instagram? Because I like to get a little bit more context on the person who I'm talking to. He was adamant about not giving it to me. Why do you need my Instagram? Why do you need to investigate? Like, you don't trust my word. You don't. No, the flags are flying. I found his Facebook. And through that, I found his Instagram. Sure enough, the page wasn't even private. The man is married with a fresh pregnancy. Married. And I was like, I knew I had seen this man before. Was I following him? No. But I had seen his page before. I feel like we had spoken before. So I believe Taylor when she was like, something was too familiar for me. Like I've seen this page before. That's why it just makes more sense for you to be like, you know what? It is possible that we have either spoken before or we used to follow each other and I just don't remember. That makes more sense than you swearing up and down it never happened. And then she's able to clock your tea like, well, do you have this picture posted? Shady boots, Daniel. Shady boots. We will see where things go with this couple. Y'all know I did not watch the trailer because they give too much damn information. So I'm ready to see what goes down this Friday. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.